Hey guys, welcome back to ProgramHub, and today in this episode we're gonna run some tests on TensorFlow that would be in benchmark test and for which there's a repository onto the GitHub that we'll be utilizing. So we have already set TensorFlow environment in the new MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro processor, and some of you have actually demanded for this one test to be run on the new MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro processor just to have a look what is the performance of this machine. So before we actually start the test, I would like to tell you all the configuration with which I have the new MacBook Pro. So this is a base variant 16-inch model that comes up with a 10 core of a CPU with a 16 core of a GPU. The RAM in this is 16 gigabytes. Along with that, I have a 512 gigabytes of storage. So that's the specification and the configuration of this machine, and we'll be starting up with the test right now. So let's get into the machine. So firstly, I'll start up the terminal. Along with that, I'll invoke the activity monitor. So right now, before we even go up to the test, so you can see that my memory consumption right now is around 6 gigabytes and my CPU idleness is around 90%. So CPU is really idle, 90% is still for utilization available, 93%. So it's increasing, it's around 90-95% of idleness. Let's start firstly with the activating my environment for TensorFlow. And now I'll open up Jupyter Labs. So I'll be using Jupyter Labs to run the test. So here we are now. So I have already got the program set. So we'll be running an benchmark test, okay, for a batch size of 128. So we'll be having a look what happens. So let's start up with the test. And by the way, we have already tried to test this, and a video for the benchmark comparison for the new MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro processor versus the M1 processor is already uploaded. So if you want to have a look at to that, you can click to the link in the top right corner. You can have a look at to that video as well. So let's run the test right now. So we are starting off with the test. Okay. So as we can see, the test is running on, and let's get to the activity monitor to have a look what's happening to the computer. So we can see that firstly into the CPU, we can see that there's an utilization of all around 30% of the CPU, and Python is now right now taking some good percentage into it. So there's around 30% of utilization. If we look into the memory, we can see that it's 9 gigabytes. The swap is not been used and not been utilized yet. So that's around 9 gigabytes. And also if we have a look at the GPU monitor, now this shows some interesting things. So right now we are using Metal that utilizes the GPU acceleration to run the test. So it's really awesome to see that how does it uses a GPU in this machine. So it's currently on to the full potential, almost around 100% of utilization. And we have already running on to an 10 epoch 11, and we are running it for 12 times. So we can have a look. So we can clearly see that the memory utilization, inside the memory utilization, there's zero swap almost been used. So there's 0 bytes. So there is no utilization of the swap memory. CPU also stays very calm because it has got more than 70% of space for more tasks to handle, and we are finally done with it. So if we come to the results, we can see here that the time for each epoch that it took, that was 7 seconds. The step timing was 13 milliseconds, and accuracy that we got over here. So accuracy, let's see, let's look out for the best accuracy that we get here. So if we have a look here for the accuracy, we can see that 99.84%. And if there is any other higher, yeah, 99.84%, that is the highest accuracy that we are getting here. So guys, as we can see here that this machine is utilizing a lot of GPU power, but there's still space for some more CPU utilization. So if we can actually try to take that power, take that utilization of the CPU as well, it can perform even much more higher to that what we are actually getting the results right now. So if you had been actually looking out for the test of TensorFlow, so this was a small test that was ran onto a demand by you all. So you actually wanted to have a look at what is the CPU utilization, how does the memory performs. So I hope you might have got some idea about how does it performs and how good this MacBook Pro M1 Pro is. And if you're specifically a data scientist or working onto data science for a lot of machine learning tasks, so this can be one machine that can serve you well for that purpose. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. I'll meet you in the next episode. Till then, goodbye.